like front and center in that job. I thought the power was in the state's attorney's office, and I wanted to have that power. I thought the power was in the state's attorney's office, and I wanted to have that power.
What it is, Kim Foxx wants to have that power. I'll play you a little bit of that Kim Foxx profile from during her election. We'll talk about the money behind Kim Foxx, who Kim Foxx is, what she's all about, and her connections, and back to Jussie Smollett's connections. We've been talking about Kamala Harris. We think she plays a big role in this as the chosen Democratic candidate. Obama's assistant, Chen, and Soros and son, all connected. What is this case about? Is it about skin color or is it about connections? Probably a little bit of both in today's day and age. You know, even with the same political connections, you could argue that someone else would not have gotten off in a different time. So in this case, Jussie Smollett got off. It wasn't even a deal. There was no deal. District attorneys have come out saying that being critical of the case. Chicago prosecutor Kim Foxx chided by National Attorneys Group. After the charge has been dropped, there was another attorneys group that came out against it. I'm going to fill you in on all the details, okay, about Jussie Smollett. We covered this case from the first day. From the first day, we said there was going to be something about this case, and that something stunk, and something really, really stinks. Really, really stinks about this. Lots of connections to dirty, dirty Democrats, turns out. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. Our producer is off for the moment. We have a special going on right now with our sponsor, Truth Matters, right? I think everybody can agree on that. Our sponsor is our store, truthclothing.io, mostly run by my wife. Thankfully, we have awesome stuff there. Truthclothing.io, that's Truth Revolution Clothing, our Russian bot shirts in celebration of the Mueller report and the busting of the Russiagate hoax. This is the time that hoaxes get busted. Russian bot tees are 20% off if you type in Mueller20 at checkout. That's all the Russian bot tees. Now, everything else is there too. Some of that stuff's on sale. Question Everything, our Yellow Vest Revolution tee, the t-shirt I'm wearing. And then you have Russian bot styles and women's styles too. There are 3 different women's styles. Again, some of which are already reduced. Mueller20 at checkout, free shipping over $50, and it's fast. We get it right out every day, okay? So let's show you the connections. I have a lot of different things to play. Here's Kim Foxx and Kamala Harris. She said, and this is from the 21st of January of this year, before this Jussie Smollett case broke. Was this a conspiracy from the beginning? With Kamala Harris, maybe Cory Booker, who were promoting the anti-lynching bill, and they both used exactly the same words to describe this case. They said it was a modern-day lynching, and they tried to pass their bill, and they couldn't get it done because it was a fake bill. Basically, we haven't had any lynchings in America basically since the late '60s. It's not an issue. It was just for image. They were promoting that bill. Were they all involved in a conspiracy? We don't know. Really, we can't say. Kim Foxx said, "I'm so excited that Kamala Harris has decided to run for president. I would not be where I am today without her guidance during my first run for political office. And she has continued to mentor me as I work to reform the criminal justice system in Cook County." Soros. Here she is at a Soros fundraiser. There she is, Kamala Harris, at a Justice and Public Safety PAC fundraiser just in March, okay? She's involved in politics right now. She has funding from George Soros. This is from Chicagoist from March 10th. Before she dropped the charges on this case, look at the dark money behind Kim Foxx's state's attorney campaign. It says Kim Foxx has also found 2 other sources of cash in the form of twin $300,000 donations to a super PAC supporting her called Illinois Safety and Justice. The sole donors to the PAC are neoliberal superdonor and conservative boogeyman George Soros and a dark money group called Civic Participation Action Fund. They had never made a donation in an Illinois race before. It was the first time, just like George Soros. And that is dark money that can't be traced. Who was behind it? She also found support from one of the current mayoral candidates, Peckwinkle or Prentwinkle. Here's a story about Kim Foxx and her history. Cook County State's attorney candidate Kim Foxx fined after violating campaign finance law. So in her election in 2016, I believe it was 2016, this is an article from March 1st, 2016. She was already violating multiple campaign finance laws. Cook County State's Attorney's candidate, Kim Foxx, was fined nearly $20,000 Monday by the Illinois State Board of Elections after missing a variety of deadlines for filing campaign disclosure forms and failing to report a substantial donation from Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle. So there was a substantial donation from Preckwinkle here, $25,000, which was used to pay for a campaign poll. And she had previously been Preckwinkle's chief of staff. Preckwinkle is out now saying this needs to be investigated, needs to be looked into. He's in a contended race for mayor with Rahm Emanuel, who quizzically, for some people, came out and strongly condemned this decision. Kim Foxx is still out defending her decision right now. This is an interview with a local CBS Chicago, CBS 2. You can hear her voice. I'll play a little bit from her campaign video.
Do you think
but this is her.
Smollett is innocent?
You know, I think that the charges that were filed, and again, I was recused at the time of the charges, were appropriate. I believe that the
She was not recused at the time of the charges. That's what these attorneys are upset about. This is from the Washington Examiner. Embattled Chicago prosecutor Kimberly Foxx never legally recused herself from the case. The attorney's office put out this statement. Quote, the state's attorney did not formally recuse herself or the office based on any actual conflict of interest. As a result, she did not have to seek the appointment of a special prosecutor under state law. Instead, she put her first assistant, Joe Maggots, out front. Quote, although we use the term recuse as it relates to state's attorney Foxx's involvement in the matter, it was a colloquial use of the term rather than in its legal sense. This is the email which was put out with her communications with Tina Chen, Obama's former assistant, and a Smollett family member. This was the email that the subject says, state's attorney recusal. Please note that state's attorney Kim Foxx is recused from the investigation involving victim Jussie Smollett. That's what it says. It says First Assistant State's Attorney Joe Maggots is serving as the acting state's attorney for this matter. Joe Maggots. Now, the names, right? Foxx. 6666, if you're into the numerology thing. Foxx. Maggots. Always the same. All right. Here is Tina Chen with the Obamas having a laugh. Tina Chen, who is the person who contacted Kim Foxx on behalf of the Smollett family. She's put out a statement too. I have more pictures here. Jussie Smollett with Michelle Obama. Plenty of pictures of that. Jussie Smollett with the Obamas. Right there in a picture. Plenty of pictures of that. Jussie Smollett with Kamala Harris. Is it about politics? Well, Kim Foxx had ambition. This is from her, what they call a maker's profile from February 7th, 2018. And it's all about ambition, baby. I think, if anything, I think she knows all these people. She knows Kamala Harris. She knows the Obamas. And this is all about politics. She has to do a favor for somebody, Jussie Smollett, who's been a political activist forever, who they want to win an NAACP award. Let him off, right? And here comes a political appointment later, right? Actually, let me just tell you what the attorney said about what Kim Foxx did, and then I'll finish that other interview. Sorry, lots of information to go over. They said, quote, first, when a chief prosecutor recuses him or herself, the recusal must apply to the entire office, not just the elected or appointed prosecutor. This is consistent with best practices for prosecutors' offices around the country. Should have appointed a special prosecutor in the case that she was recused, which she said she did. Now it was just colloquially she was recused, not actually recused, because there was not an actual conflict of interest, apparently, although we have these emails and text messages. This is the person who's a Smollett family member. OMG, this would be a huge victory. After these are text messages between a family member who got the number from Tina Chen, who said she spoke to the superintendent, and this is Foxx, spoke to the superintendent earlier. He made the ask, trying to figure out logistics. I'll keep you posted. And to which the family member replied, oh my God, this would be a huge victory. Transferring the case to the FBI would be a huge victory. Why is that? And for people who think it's great that the FBI is looking into this letter, well, why would that be great if they were, OMG, this would be a huge victory earlier about the case going to the FBI? Here's a little bit more of Fox's interview where her voice is gone.
Him having to forfeit the $10,000, having to do community service based on the allegations. And again,
there was no deal. He actually didn't have to do community service. The lawyers have come out and said that. There actually was no deal. There was no deal. This was not an alternative prosecution. It actually was not an alternative prosecution. In an alternative prosecution, you have an admission of guilt. They said, quote, third, when a prosecutor seeks to resolve a case through diversion or some other alternative to prosecution, it should be done so with an acknowledgement of culpability on the part of the defendant. A case with the consequential effects of Mr. Smollett's case should not be resolved without a finding of guilt or innocence. Foxx says, oh, well, it's not that he's innocent, but this was the right thing to do. Her voice is gone.
And no background are an outcome that we could expect with this type of case.
So since he was arrested, you had no contact with him or anyone representing him, his family or anything, since or after?
No.
None at all.
Okay. I mean, that is a straight lie. Straight lie.
Outcome that we could expect with this type of case.
So since he was arrested, you had no contact with him or anyone representing him, his family or anything, since or after?
No.
Okay, we have emails and text messages. So between her and Tina Chen, this is from Tina Chen. Tina Chen, assistant to the Obamas. Tina Chen actually, we found out today, is supervising the review of the SPLC. Tina Chen supervising a review of the SPLC. Just want to play you that Kim Foxx doesn't always have that voice gone. Is she under stress? Did she go to a rock concert?
No one can speak for a woman like a woman. Who we are can't be articulated by anyone but us. Society preferred us to be seen and not heard. And I think it was because there was this recognition, if we heard what they had to say, we might be in trouble.
There you go. That's Kim Foxx. She talks about how it's hard being a black woman and how she was taught that growing up. She says one particular memory she had. I'm going to play that for you. Right about here, I believe. Just indicates her ambition.
Tackle it. And there was a challenge to that, to prove to the world what I had to offer. When the judge came out, everyone had to stand up. And I was like, I want to be a judge. I want people to stand up when I walk into the room. And my mother said, you have to be a lawyer first.
She wants people to stand up. She said the state's attorney's office is where the power is.
It was like front and center in that job. I thought the power was in the state's attorney's office, and I wanted to have that power.
I'm suggesting this is all about political advancement, political power, and ambition. Unfortunately, it's backfiring on her, but she could still get a political appointment. She'll never get elected again, but she could still get a political appointment, and then what are people going to do? What a bunch of bullshit, huh? Really. But at least everybody knows about it. You know, I almost didn't report on it because it's out there. Everybody's talking about Jussie Smollett. But this is what it's about, political connections, and a little bit about race. Definitely a little bit about race. Because, you know, ultimately, the blame in this case was against white people, you know. So the victims in this case, you know, assuming anybody believed it, were like Trump supporters, like white Trump supporters were victims in this case because they were being smeared unjustly by this, you know, a-hole, the gay Tupac. I hope he never lives it down. I'm the gay Tupac, he said. He said, I will never be the person that this did not happen to. And Kim Foxx made sure that he could continue on that narrative and keep lying to people. No accountability. What kind of world do we live in? Thanks for tuning in for the show. I appreciate you guys. I'll turn over to Twitch, which I'm broadcasting on now. Just a reminder, I have a video about the Christchurch shooting on BitChute. So check it out. You can find me on BitChute by looking for Lift the Veil, about a possible accomplice in that case. So take a look at it while it still exists, and share it. Otherwise, I'm on Twitch, twitch.tv/lifttheveil411. Download the Twitch app, look for Lift the Veil, follow me, get your notifications. Hey, you never know. YouTube may disappear one day. So far, Twitch is better for the free speech. I've been going over the shooting a little bit more, and we're able to say things like about, you know, Sandy Hook and stuff if we want. I'm also on podcast. You can find Lift the Veil anywhere podcasts are, like iTunes, Stitcher. Looking to see if anybody gave me any super chats, and then we'll let you guys go for the day. All right, guys, keep an open mind. Question everything. Doshi 2020. Mueller 20 at checkout for 20% off. Russian bot shirts, all Russian bot styles at truthclothing.io. Just a reminder. For now, from me and the missing producer, that is what it is.